Kaepernick stepping up. Going to roll to his left. Going to run the ball to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the corner, and Kaepernick keeps it going outside to the right. He's running down the near side, and Kaepernick is gone!
He's down the sidelines to the house. Kaepernick!
Colin Kaepernick! He faked out the entire stadium!
It was a move that arrived with considerable controversy. Colin Kaepernick took over the starting duties of quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers after an injury to Alex Smith during their Week 10 tie with the Rams. Critics of the move decried that Smith still deserved the starting role, but to quote Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven, deserves got nothing to do with it. Kaepernick has been self-assured his entire life. Need proof? Colleen Dominguez on a letter a young Colin Kaepernick once wrote to himself.
When Colin Kaepernick was 11 years old, he predicted his future in a letter to himself for a class assignment, in which he wrote that he wanted to be 6'4" and play for the 49ers or Packers, even if they're not good.
To me, it was just kind of how I felt at that time. I mean, I knew I wanted to be a professional football player, and I knew I wanted to be taller than I was. So,
Your mom kept it?
Yeah, my mom keeps everything.
Colin was adopted when he was just 5 weeks old, the youngest of Rick and Teresa Kaepernick's 3 children. Why do you think there's so much focus on being adopted?
I would say probably just because it's different. The majority of people aren't adopted, but to me, it really doesn't feel like I was adopted. That's my family. The only thing that's different is my skin color is a little different than theirs, but other than that, that's my family.
Talk about the Christmas gift your mom gave you.
I'm big into gladiators in the Coliseum, so it's a denarius, a Roman coin.
You know, you're kind of like a gladiator when you spike the ball and you let out quite a yell.
I mean, when you're on the field, there's nothing else like it.
But until week 11, Colin had only been on the field as a backup to Alex Smith. He turned to his father for advice.
I had to be patient. It was something that he knew I hated hearing, but he also knew that I needed to hear it. So I think he's someone, when he tells me something, I can really take it to heart.
What did you tell him when you found out you were starting the game Monday Night Football against the Bears?
I found out Sunday night at about 10 o'clock, and I almost didn't call him that night because I knew he wouldn't sleep. So
He'd be up all night?
Yeah, so I ended up calling him that night anyways, and I was like, I just want to give you a heads up. And I talked to him after the game. He was like, I don't know why you called me the night before the game. He was like, I was up all night. And my mom told me too. She was like, he was pacing around the house. He couldn't sleep.
Way past Kaepernick. Touchdown, Davis!
Colin earned the starting job and the scrutiny that comes with it, even when it comes to his many tattoos.
Psalm 18:39 is the first one I had. It's a scroll on my right shoulder. It says, you armed me with strength for battle. You made my adversaries bow at my feet.
He was criticized by one writer who pointed to the Manning brothers and their lack of tattoos as setting the right example when it comes to quarterbacks and ink.
I mean, I thought it was a little ridiculous, but I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I mean, that's something that you really can't say too much about. That's just how one person feels.
Your mom let him have it. She had an opinion. She had an opinion.
Yeah, my mom, she's always going to have my back.
If you had to write yourself a letter today, what would you say to the 11-year-old who wrote that letter?
Follow your dreams. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. If you're really passionate about something, go after it.
If he's really down with social media, he would tweet himself a letter now.
That's true.
140 characters. Keep it tight. Kaepernick coming off a historic performance against the Packers in the divisional round, joining Jay Cutler and Otto Graham. Yes, Otto Graham is in the show. Only players to register at least 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns in a single postseason game, and his 181 rushing yards, the most by a quarterback in a game in NFL history. Still to come, he needs to pour in 50, but LeBron James will take aim at